So I've taken these two drivers to the golf course and it was pretty close, with the Rogue outdriving the TaylorMade on a couple of occasions, but the TaylorMade did hit every single fairway. So it was close. This particular video, we're going to take a look at them purely head to head with Trackman numbers. Stealth against Rogue ST Max. Which is longer, which is straighter, we're going to find out in this test. So we're going to kick off with the Stealth. So I've got the standard Stealth here. Obviously this is a plus, which is a movable weight. This is a standard one, the more forgiving version, 9-degree head, and we'll get underway with the first shot. That's a nice strike. Just peeling a little bit up that right-hand side, but a good strike. Good club head speed. I've had a really good warm-up before I've started this as well. Yeah, just a little bit low on the face. That one, see that launch just drops, spin goes up, losing a little bit of distance through that strike. Okay, again, just a little bit peely up the right side, but a good strike. And as I've mentioned before in the review video, I really like the feel of it. I like the look of it. The red face is very much growing on me. The red and black, I think, looks great to me. Some people might not like that, but I think the head being that darker black, very good. Love the shape of it, love the feel of it, and the sound is also pretty good. Okay, so into the Callaway Rogue ST Max. Oh, that's a really good straight one. Looks to be a very good forward ball flight. Okay, so just shot 113 club, 164 ball. There's their low spin, there's some distance. Definitely something that I found in my review video, even though this is the max head, the spin was really sort of controlled, which was really interesting, where I sort of said I could potentially sort of game this, even though this is a big footprint. I typically probably prefer the size of the Stealth a little bit more, if I'm being honest, but I think that look is something I could quite easily get used to. It does provide you with that confidence down by the ball. Ooh, just a bit toey. That's peeling up the left. So there's a little bit of my strike. So the club face wasn't massively closed there. The path was going to touch left with that little bit of toe strike, just turning it over a little bit. But again, the sound and the feel off this, it's a bit more of a solid feel in relation to Stealth. Stealth feels a little bit softer off the face. The way I sort of describe it, it's a bit like, I'm casting my mind back a few years now, of the persimmon drive, the wooden drive. It was always that little bit softer off the face, that sort of, it's like the ball was on the face for longer. You sort of get a little bit of that feel with the Stealth there, where obviously this feels a bit more solid, it feels a bit more explosive off the face, but a great feel and a great sound to it. That's good, solid, good flight. Little bit of left to right on that, but not much. Again, 163 ball, getting up to that 280 carry. That was a nice solid one there with the Stealth. Better ball flight. 163, 2.5, 277. Okay, let's jump back into the Rogue again. Okay, so just before we hit 3 more shots with the Rogue, do stay tuned, because later on in this video we're going to go all out and out. Fastest swings I can possibly do. Let's see what we can get out of both of these drivers, so keep watching. It's a little bit pulley down that left-hand side, but again, strike felt pretty good. Ball speed's good, and good distance again. So in a minute, we're just going to jump back into the Stealth for a few more shots, but I just want you to comment down below. Obviously, you'll have seen a few review videos, maybe from different YouTubers, obviously mine as well. And, you know, I want you to sort of comment, you know, which do you prefer? Number one, the looks of. Number two, the numbers that people are getting. And number three, is it a brand orientated, you know, your choice? What would you go for? So looks, the numbers, and also the brand. Comment down below, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So back into the Stealth for another 3 shots. So probably what I'm just sort of seeing a little bit is that a little bit left to right, maybe with the Stealth there on those shot shapes. But then again, I am getting a little bit of that also with the Rogue. So very similar. Okay, that was a good strike. A little bit at the left, just that little bit of fade there. Felt very solid. Yeah, 164.8, getting up to 277. Oh, that's a really good strike. with the Rogue, just to finish off that batch. Okay, right, so we are going to take a look at those numbers in a little bit more detail, but just before we do, as promised before, I'm going to hit 3 with each, absolutely all out. Okay, I'm going to see what I can potentially get out of both of these drivers flat out. Okay, so Stealth first. Let's see what speed we can get out of this, both clubhead and ball speed, and see if we can actually keep this on the planet. That's a long way, right? Clubhead speed 119.9, 171 ball speed. I tell you what, it's been a long time since I got my clubhead speed at 120 and 170s into that ball speed. Spin's completely gone. I've hit that cut shot, so you can see the distance. I've not related the speed into the distance. Let's try and dial this one and sync it up a little bit. Touch bottom in the face. Again, just peeling a fraction, 118, 170 ball. Again, that spin's going to be a little bit on that high side, yeah. 118.7, 168. Bit of a straighter shot there. 287 as the longest. Okay, let's move into that Rogue. Didn't feel as fast, no, 117. Good ball speed though, even though that, I mean, I've shut the face, that's gone up the left, so that's probably just going to pump that ball speed up a tiny bit, pull that spin down. Oh, that's a toey one. That's going up the left a bit toe, 117. Ball speed not as good there, that off centre hit. I felt a better strike, flight's great on that. 117, 169. 21292. Callaway just gets it a little bit, probably just more on that shot direction more than anything against the Stealth. Well, let's look at those numbers on the original batches of shots between those two drivers and let's see which is straighter, which is faster. So just before I look at the numbers, I just want to look at strikes. So this is heat patch on all the strikes, and this is with all the Stealth ones, excluding those ones where I went flat out. So the original batches. So you can see pretty tight there, but just a fraction in that heel. And obviously just with Stealth, we saw that little bit of that, probably a little bit more left to right shaping on those ball flights, probably just through that little bit of that slight heel strike. If we look at the Callaway in the Rogue, you see that strike pattern again is pretty good there, isn't it? But again, just moves fractionally to the toe. So this is where we're probably going to see a little bit more ball speed with the Stealth against, with the Rogue against TaylorMade through that slight toe strike. You always got to remember that toe's just going to travel a fraction quicker. A little bit more of that sort of gear effect, so maybe less of that left to right shape, which we know the fade will always lose a little bit of distance in relation to that slight little bit more of a neutral flight. Okay, so just compressed all the numbers here, so we've got the averages. We're going to look at the bottom two columns to start off with the original batch, so we can see Stealth 114.4, 113.7 with the Rogue. Do feel like that Stealth is a little bit lighter in the head. It feels like I can move it a little bit quicker. Maybe saw that in those faster swings towards the end as well. Ball speed 162.9, 163.7. So even though that clubhead speed was quicker, the ball speed was slightly down. Again, just bear in mind those slight heel strikes. And again, this is my testing into it. We've got to look at that. I mean, how deep do we go? I can't hit the same part of the club face every single time, and I'm a pretty good ball striker. You know, put these in a robot. What are the numbers? I don't know, but we're not robots, are we? So you've got to go from my sort of testing away. Obviously, you've got to go and do your own testing. I'll always say that to you as well. Launch, you see, 12 against 11, 2-1 against 3-1. So with those heel strikes, getting that ball spin a little bit more. But as I mentioned before, I do get a really controlled spin with that max head. So 279 against 271, clear distance winner there with the Rogue. Probably again through that strike, shot shape a little bit more. Height a little bit lower. Land angle a little bit more efficient there, and a little bit more efficient on my smash. Then just looking at the all-out swing. So Stealth with 3 with that, 3 with a max. See 119. That's fast for me. Again, I feel like I can move that a lot quicker. Ball speed's obviously a little bit quicker there because of that extra bit of clubhead speed. It did spin up very, very aggressively, but again, the shot shape was a little bit more to the right. My Rogue was a little bit more neutral to slightly left, so that's going to affect the spin. That's face to path relationship there. So actually getting a little bit more distance through more my doing more than really the club. Okay, and dispersion ring. So obviously we're looking at not just fastest but longest, but also a little bit of accuracy as well, aren't we? So we look at the Stealth here, flashing on the red. The original shots we hit. quite a nice tight package there, isn't it? You know, yes, it's moving up that right hand side a little bit, but quite consistent and pretty tight on that dispersion. You can see with the Rogue there, as they start flashing in the orange, I had some up the right, a few up that left, but obviously we can see that dispersion just move a little bit further on, so a little bit more distance there, as we saw with the we're going to see with the numbers. Obviously then with the all and all outs, a lot of right shots there with the Stealth, just got that moving a bit more up that right hand side. You can see the Rogue was a little bit more up that left, hence a little bit more distance there because of that face to path relationship. Okay, so let's sum that up then. For me personally, again, I like the looks of the TaylorMade, the feel of the TaylorMade. I just seem to struggle to get anything really sort of out of it. But post your comments down below, let me know your thoughts. Which one would you be edging to really go out there and try and test yourselves? I'd love to hear your thoughts as always, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all very soon.